Today I'm making a delicious from scratch breakfast for my family on this snowy winter day. I'm also going to share with you my simple formula for cooking from scratch. I'm Rebekah with Learning Together by Grace, Homemaking God's Way. Are y'all ready? Let's go. So when I'm cooking from scratch, I like to gather all of my ingredients and all of the cups and spoons and utensils, pots, pans, what have you, so that I can simplify my process of creating from scratch. It's hard to cook from scratch when you're going from place to place as you're adding one ingredient here, using one utensil here. Yeah, it becomes crazy. So gather all of your things that you need for your recipe and then go from there. It will make it a lot easier for you to cook. All right, so here's a little clip of my children outside playing in the snow. They were really enjoying themselves this particular day. It was so beautiful outside, you guys. So I'm now going to share with you my particular formula for cooking from scratch. With every single meal, I make sure that I have a protein, I have a starch, and I have either a fruit or a vegetable. This, again, is simple for me, and it helps me get breakfast, lunch, or dinner on the table for my family. Most of the food that I make is from scratch. I would say about 80% of it. Every blue moon, I will buy something from the store that is already pre-made, or we will go out to eat from time to time. But for the most part, I do make everything from scratch. Now, this pancake recipe is very special, and I will have the link to the blog post for this recipe in my description below so that you guys can create this pancake recipe. My son, he really enjoys cinnamon. That is his favorite spice, and he loves putting it in everything from chicken to oatmeal to you name it. He absolutely loves it. So I added cinnamon to this recipe. And another secret ingredient that I add to my pancake mix to give them that nice crispiness is cream of tartar or tartar. And you guys, if you have never done it, you have to trust me on it. It makes a difference in your pancakes. It allows you to have that fluffiness as well as that nice outer crisp. And so I'm just creating a well here, and I am going to add the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. But back to simplifying my cooking from scratch. I am very particular about feeding my family nutritious foods, and I am very particular about making sure that the ingredients that I am using are as wholesome and as fresh as possible. I try to buy most things organic. If I can't get it organic, I try to get non-GMO. And if I can't get it non-GMO, I am trying to make sure that it comes from a good source as best as I can. I am still learning, I am still growing, and I am still searching for more and more ingredients that are good for my family. So just to share, for those of you that are new, I have been married for 18 years and a full-time stay-at-home mom on and off for 10 years. I did work as a teacher for 3 years, but I really felt that God was calling me back to the home. And so I gave up my career to be at home. And if you think it was easy, it was not. It was a very thought out decision that me and my husband both made together. And he has supported me and my children throughout this process, and he is a very hard worker. And so I do my part with taking care of our children. I homeschool them, and they do a lot of co-op classes. They're heavy in theater, into music, and soccer. And so I do my part, and I try to create a home that's warm and inviting for him to come home to after he works his long hours. He works 12-hour shifts, you guys, and he works about an hour away from home. So he's up at 4 something in the morning, and he usually doesn't make it home until about 7:30, sometimes 8 o'clock, depending on if he has to work overtime, which most days, honestly, he does. So he's usually clocking in about 13-hour shifts. And so my job here at home is to just have everything in order so that when he comes home, after he's done his part, he can come home and relax. And then he also gives me breaks as well. We've been married for 18 years, so we have worked this thing out, and we continue to tweak as we need. Now, here I'm just cleaning up after myself. This is another thing about making food from scratch. If you don't clean up after yourself as you're going along, after you get done making your meal, you are going to have a crazy, chaotic kitchen. Now, sometimes things are just moving so fast and I can't clean up after myself, but at least after the meal is completed, I will go and put things away. I may not be able to clean thoroughly, but I will go and put things away and just scoop things off of the counters that fell on there. So now that the kids are done playing, they are anxiously awaiting for breakfast to be done. I wanted to show you guys this container. This is a sausage keeper and bacon keeper. I'm going to put a link in my description. It's an Amazon link where you guys can purchase these. These have been a lifesaver for us with not using as many Ziploc bags. So I'm trying to reduce waste wherever I can. But now I'm going to get started with cooking my pancakes. My daughter got this little Hello Kitty cast iron skillet from her brother for Christmas, and she wanted me to make her pancakes in them. So I'm doing that for her. But back to cooking from scratch. If you are wanting to cook from scratch, I want to just give you some advice. Keep it simple. I always go back to the basics whenever I am cooking. Now, I will venture out and create, different recipes, and it's so fun. And sometimes I find that those recipes that I'm trying out are becoming a part of my regular rotation. But you want to try to keep it as simple as possible because it can become overwhelming whenever you are cooking from scratch. And you can find yourself wasting a lot of time in the kitchen because you're trying to make these perfect, elaborate meals. No, don't do it. Whatever your family loves, make it well and make it often. Even if you're just doing it on a weekly rotation, do that. I'll also link the blog post to my easy meal plan and easy go-to meals so that you can begin to plan out your meals, you guys, because the heart of what we do a lot is cooking as homemakers. And dinner is on the table. Breakfast is on the table, lunch is on the table. These people have got to eat. That is a constant. Your house can go dirty for a couple of days, but food is a necessity. This is the heart of your home, your kitchen, and making sure that you have good food. Another thing to ensure if you are trying to cook from scratch is making sure you have your pantries stocked well. And so what you can do is start a list of things that you need. Maybe think about your go-to meals for your family. What are some things that they truly love eating? My husband absolutely loves meatloaf. I can make it every single week and he will not get tired of it. My family absolutely loves a whole chicken. I can make it every single week and they will not get tired of it. So there are certain go-to meals that I know that I can have on hand for my family to eat. And pancakes is another thing. So making sure you have those ingredients stocked up is a simple way to make your meals from scratch. You guys, this particular day we had to melt snow because our water went out. We actually did not have water for 36 hours. So we were being resourceful, and my husband was getting snow. We had water to drink and we didn't want to use that, but we had to melt snow so that we can flush our toilet. That was not so fun, but hey, you make life work. All right, you guys, when you are cooking from scratch and you're making eggs, they always need to be the last thing that you cook so that they can be fresh. So my secret to cooking eggs in a cast iron skillet is to have a very seasoned cast iron skillet, meaning that it is slick and non-stick. And then you are going to mix up your eggs with whatever seasonings you want in your eggs. Make sure your cast iron is very hot and then pour them into the skillet. They're going to begin to bubble up like you saw, and then you can just move them around like this. Before I show you the final plate, I just want to remind you to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so that you know when I post a new video, and share so people know what we are doing over here. And leave me a comment below letting me know what your go-to from scratch meals are. You guys, this is the plate, and I'm just adding some honey on top of it. I served this one to my husband. I hope you enjoyed. God bless and take care. It's a snowy day. There's Elijah and Grace outside with me. Their dad is over here. He's looking at something. Hey, hubby. There's a lot of snow. A lot. And we're getting like an inch an hour. Look at this.
Ready?
You see that?
Ready, Mom?
That's a lot. Oh gosh. There's lots of it. Ah! But it's a beautiful day. It's cold, but beautiful.